Yes, folks, Raelene Castle has finally resigned, which is just a polite way of saying she was sacked. And the timing of her sacking just prior to Anzac Day couldn't have been better, as our Anzacs most certainly didn't die for a speech silencing thug like her. She is the very definition of evil. And Chris Kenny sums up that story very well indeed. But first, let's listen to our cringeworthy dear leader for a moment.
A special day of remembrance forced to take on a new life.
Today we commemorate Anzac Day in a way that hasn't been done before.
As dawn broke in Wellington, the Prime Minister walked to the end of her driveway, laying flowers picked from her garden and standing in remembrance.
Things are different this year, but while we cannot physically come together, I know we are united by our respect for our veterans.
Wow. You have the audacity to talk about respect for our veterans while you're selling us out to Communist China and the United Nations. You are absolutely repugnant. Anyway, now to Kenny.
Now, you don't have to know much about rugby union to know the game is in more strife than most other sporting codes in this country, and was so long before the coronavirus struck. Poor crowds, poor television audiences, unresolved television rights issues, and the Wallabies underperforming on the international stage, most notably at the World Cup. And then there was the Israel Folau saga that saw Rugby Australia dump its best player over his fundamentalist Christian Instagram posts. The ensuing controversy was debilitating, and the eventual payout hit Rugby Australia's finances, as CEO Raelene Castle noted last year.
I certainly believe that this is money that we could be spending on the rugby community, and that's...
So why did you go down that road then? Well, you went down that road because you and Qantas's Alan Joyce had an agenda, a gay agenda.
Disappointing. Every dollar that we spend on legal fees is a dollar that we don't spend in the community. That is the reality. But what I'd say is that Israel also knew the implications.
In recent weeks, with games suspended and the pandemic creating especially difficult problems for an international competition, Castle was still trying to find a way through. Here she was just a couple of days ago.
What I'll say is there's not a sport in the world that's not facing really difficult times at the moment, and we have to think differently, and we have to go about our work differently, and we have to be open-minded to new things and new...
So why weren't you open-minded to Israel Folau?
change.
But Castle was under siege in the rugby community, with commentators and administrators frustrated with the game's performance. Former Wallabies were penning an open letter demanding a shake-up at the top. And the timing of this latest revelation last weekend, in the middle of the crisis, was telling.
On Rugby Now, on a day where she's pushing for a 65% pay cut from players, Rugby Australia Chief Executive Raelene Castle has been linked to a bonus to her own annual salary.
Wow. Now, who would have thought?
Eek. And in a fairly unsurprising announcement yesterday, Castle resigned, saying the board wanted a fresh start. But forget about money, forget about television rights, crowds, audiences, or even on-field performances. I've been surprised to learn from the ABC that this resignation was actually about identity politics. And no, not the identity politics that saw the demise of Israel Folau. Apparently, it was identity that helped take down Castle herself.
Do you have any sense that you're attracting criticism because you're perceived as an outsider, a Kiwi and a woman running a sport whose biggest names are privileged, middle-aged Australian blokes?
So that's the reason she was forced to resign, because she's a woman. No, it couldn't possibly be because she's an incompetent, virtue-signalling buffoon, could it?
I don't really think about it like that, Lee.
Yeah, Castle, to her credit, didn't buy into this argument, but on ABC Radio this morning, a big, middle-aged, white, former rugby-playing bloke went down the same path.
There are a lot of
This guy is a complete dick.
people who either whispered it or one or two said it to me out loud. You can't have a woman running rugby. Now there was that kind of antediluvian view.
So sorry, that's been said to you.
Of course, it's been said to me, but it's that. I mean, I'm in the rugby community. There are people that take that view. I dare say there are people that say that about Ida Buttrose running the ABC, and they're wrong. It's any time a woman takes a powerful position, there's always a kickback against that.
So there you have it. So many issues, so many problems, so many challenges for rugby, but it's all about gender, apparently. Presumably, if a bloke was running the game and it booted his best player out of the competition, made a multi-million-dollar loss, didn't perform on the field, lost crowds and television audiences, then no one would care. And the bloke in charge would have the job for life. Give me a break.
Exactly. Yeah. But folks, there's something else I want to cover today. And hat tip to Ginger for this one. Now, folks, I've posted a link to this Stony Stone video in the description below. And for obvious reasons, I won't say a word through it.
All right, everybody. Well, guess what today is? Welcome back real quick. Guess what today is? The dead man switch. Everybody's been waiting for the big leak. Hopefully you can see this. And here it is. It was published yesterday. Well, yesterday in my time. Today, it's a little after 12 o'clock, so it makes a new date. Anyway, if you guys been waiting for this, which I know a lot of people have, it was dropped today. This is who put this out. Yep. Oh, my Lord. Let's give it a little bit of going through here real quick. Look at some of this. I'm not going to say what this is. I'm just going to let you kind of read it and browse. Look at this. Let's just click it. What? People looking for that, right? Yeah. Okay. Here, check this out. What? Oh, my. What? So, is this the one we've been waiting for? You gotta look inside. It's got a few of these pop up, whatever. Just click them off, but some of these are different dates, like this one. Let's see it. But this is usually code because before the internet was big, you didn't have all this internet stuff back then, so it was kind of harder to keep track of it because you'd never expect it to be there. But look at this. There will be links in the description to access this site to find, the guy that started this right here. Gotta watch what I'm saying. See this right here. Today, well, a few hours ago, the whole thing, everything we've been waiting on, got dumped. Everything. The thing that's going to change everything will be different after this. So, see these dates. Everything will change after this dump. Happy digging. What a mess. Oh, look at this. So much. See that? Look, from 1984. This, I think, was in his actual dumps from before. Oh, code. Got it. I get it. Yep. Exactly. Yep. Okay. Yep. See? It's there. Just got to know how to maneuver around it. Anyway, so much. My Lord, it's going to take forever to go through this. It's just nuts. See? Exactly. Not just that, though. This is what everybody in the world's been waiting on. Look at some of this. It's crazy. And every time you go back, you get that pop-up or one over here. So, just warning you. Look, check this out. It's open. I have not seen none of these, so I have no idea what's about to play.
This project.
What? Look at that guy. Yep. Okay. So, let's just say, here it is. Everything. All of it. The whole dump. Everything is dumped. And it's right here for you. Whoa. What a mess. Years and years of archiving. Many people involved in this. So it actually dumped today. Well, a few hours ago, we'll see. Anyway, just wanted to give you guys an idea of what was going on. And there's a lot more to this than just this. So, that being said, this should take a group. Look at this. I'm not even opening it. Look, I'm gonna leave it to you guys to open. So there you go. The link is in the description. Thank you.
Now, folks, for those who are interested, I've also posted a link to the original files in the description below as well. And I will leave it up to you guys to decide whether they are interesting or not.